Wednesday, the final trading day in the month of November. And this is how we're saying goodbye to the second to the final month of the year. We're now counting down the final 30 days of 2022. The Nigerian market continued in a negative trajectory on Tuesday by 24 basis points. The BRVM down by 84 basis points. The Egyptian market, however, made a very strong comeback. Tuesday on the market, 2.07% is the third trading day in Cairo, as you are well aware, 13,184 on the EGX 30. The Nairobi market down by 20 basis points, and the South African GSE lost 0.33% on the second trading day of the week. 73,000 still holding it at that highly elevated level for the all-share index. So let's bring in a few news headlines just to get you started on the business, economic, investment, and finance with East African story reprieve for Rwanda because China cancelled the country's $7.1 million debt, which was used to build one key critical infrastructure in the country. And Rwanda says thank you to the authorities in Beijing. In the meantime, US dollar crisis is earning Kenyan banks about 5.2 billion shillings amid consumer problems, by the way. And Mauritanian firm is buying stakes in Transmara Sugar. That's the whole part of the package of what the Kenyan administration is doing with the sugar refineries in the country, trying to boost domestic production of the product. And Tanzania is targeting about 12 billion shillings horticulture exports value for full year by the year 2030, looking at its neighbor, Kenya, which is the leading horticulture exporter east of the continent. And Centum has announced about a share buyback program, just as the company posted a loss, half-year loss of about 1.6 billion shillings. That's been reported in the Kenyan media. Getting to the West African Nigeria, where the central bank governor of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the country is improving its FX revenues and that the rebate being paid to indigenous non-oil exporters, about 81 billion naira so far this year, has helped the non-oil sector and is asking for more partnership with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. In the meantime, innocent vehicles or motors exports from Nigeria to Senegal, so Sierra Leone is around 3.1 billion naira. It's a new window for this local auto manufacturer that's beginning to make a whole lot of headway in terms of local production and looking at export markets across West Africa. And congratulations to the Vice President of the Executive Vice President at Afreximbank, Kanayo Awani, who was named the Woman Leader of the Year Award at the Africa Finance Industry Summit, which was held in Lome, Togo on Monday and Tuesday. Kanayo Awani was named the winner of that particular award because of the great work she's doing at Afreximbank, and in particular for the Intra-Africa Trade Fair, as well as the AFCFTA. And inflation is likely to peak in the first quarter of 2023, according to the Bank of Ghana. Not good news, however, as we got news from Moody's Investor Services late Tuesday that Ghana's credit rating has been dropped further into junk territory, CA, which is the lowest level assigned to a sovereign by Moody's Investors Service. That was on the back of the program around restructuring that Ghana is looking to achieve, to work out with creditors, and the fact that creditors, private lenders, may take some haircut. Within the CEMAC region, the CFA franc has taken a beating from the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, as well as the euro. That was in the third quarter, ended October. Throw in the Southern African headlines for the day with South Africa's reporting private sector credit, which was up about 9.34% year on year in the month of October. Manufacturing sector creating more jobs, about 123,000 to about 1.63 million in the third quarter as well. That was also part of the economic data coming out of South Africa. ABSA is reporting a profit jump of about 30% because of increased lending, while ZS is looking at the GSE listing by December the 13th. That's after the delinking by Ballaward. Then you've got Zimbabwe Reserve Bank yesterday sold about $15.3 million at its weekly foreign exchange auction. And finally, look at the North African market. Quite a bit of news around the Egyptian exports, which is projected to grow by about $6.4 billion this year, while Morocco's OCP, which is an industrial giant into fertilizer and a few others, reporting turnover $8.32 billion for January to September. That's the first 9 months of the current year. Lekela Power is looking at an expansion into Morocco's wind energy market, while Tunisia is amending its Finance Act 2022, which will put the country's budget deficit at about 9.6 billion dinars. And finally, Mediterranean Capital Partners says it's exited about 6 portfolio companies in the last 12 months due to rejigging of its portfolio within the North African market. That's a bit of your news to get you on the final trading day and business day of the month of November. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.